Good speakers get standing ovations. Delatorro gets carried off the stage. What is it about Delatorro and his message that makes business professionals explode with energy, inspiration, and the desire to achieve personal and professional success at the highest level? Well, let's learn. Welcome to Delatorro Worldwide Empowerment.
Somebody say, bring it on. All of your life, you've been taught that knowledge is what? Knowledge is what? You see it in schools, you see it on posters, you see it on billboards, you see it on pencils. Biggest load of garbage I've ever heard. Knowledge is not power. Say that with me. Somebody say knowledge is not power. Now that you said it out of obedience, why don't you say it out of conviction? I want you to take the roof off of this place. Somebody say knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Applied knowledge equals power. It does not matter how much we know. It matters how much we apply of what we know. Come on, y'all. Why is it that foreigners, people who come to this country and can't even speak the language when they get here, run laps around native-born Americans in terms of becoming self-made millionaires and entrepreneurs in this country? It's not knowledge. It's the application of that knowledge. I know plenty of PhDs that are living up under a bridge. Because see, here's why we think that knowledge is power. Because we think that information leads to automatic transformation, and it does not.
And the thing I like about Delatorro is that he's a real guy. He's real sincere. You know that he's passionate about everything that he does. And he's a real class act. And what he says and how he says things in a very simple way really means a lot I know, to me and to so many people whose lives he touches.
I've known Delatorro for probably 8 or 10 years, and I've had the pleasure on a number of occasions to bring him to our organization at New York Life and speak to our population of about 200 employees who work for me. And today, people still talk about that moment of introduction when they met Delatorro McNeal. I had the pleasure over the New Year's to run into Delatorro again to hear about his new exciting book that's out. And I'm very, very excited about this book. I'm very anxious about what this book will do again in my life, because every time you have an encounter with Delatorro, it changes your life.
Delatorro L. McNeal II is an internationally renowned and celebrated professional speaker, best-selling author, transition coach, and successful entrepreneur. Corporations, conventions, professional associations, top universities, and nonprofits call on Delatorro to deliver over 80 powerful and life-transforming keynotes and seminars each year. He is the author of 5 books, including his brand new 2008 release, Caught Between a Dream and a Job: How to Leave the 9-to-5 Behind and Step into the life you've always wanted.
One of my good buddies, dear friends, his name is Zig Ziglar. He taught me something when I was a young guy, actually. I got my first job when I was 14 years old. I was a package executive at Winn-Dixie stores. This is the exact vest that I wore when I was 14. I can't put it on now because I'm swole now, you know, but but back in the day, I could fit into this. You know, I'm swole, right? But I was a package executive. Anybody know what a package executive is? No, you don't understand. On my resume, it said this: it was my job to secure the safe transfer of purchased items from the store to the client's motor vehicle in such an ergonomic fashion. Come on now. Yeah, I was a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Hello. But you got to make yourself sound good. Somebody say, oh yeah. You got to listen. I remember back in the day, I used to work at my church, but I never called myself what I was. I called myself by what I saw myself as. I was a sanitation engineer. Some of y'all call that a janitor, but guess what? You know, I had to put good words on my resume because I wanted to make myself sound good. Somebody say, oh yeah. You got to do the same thing. Don't put just in front of any title that you give yourself. But change your life if you'll let me. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. No, you're not. I'm just a teller. Garbage. You're a world changer. Come on, somebody. You're a hope giver. You're a lifesaver. Come on now. You are a difference maker every single day of your life. Don't put just in front of any title that you have. Somebody say, that's good. Don't do that, man. I'm telling you, you're awesome. But listen, I was making $4.75 per hour when I was wearing this vest. But I did a whole lot more than $4.75 paid me for. I was doing stock, come on now. I was cleaning up spills. I was bagging groceries. I was doing every single thing that I could. And one day Zig taught me, he said, son, listen, when you do more than you're paid to do, the day will come when you're paid more for what you do. He said, so always outperform your paycheck.
The energy was phenomenal. The room was buzzing, and everybody was so excited about what was transforming in their hearts and in their minds and their spirits, and you could feel it emanate throughout the whole environment. I think it was the best conference we've ever had.
Awesome. The whole kickoff, that was just unbelievable. It brought new light. It showed different sides of people. Showed humility. It was just awesome. Just absolutely phenomenal.
As a successful entrepreneur, Delatorro owns 3 blossoming corporations and has won numerous awards, including the Tampa Bay Business Journal's 30 Under 30 Award and finalist for the TBBJ Young Minority Business Person of the Year Award. With over a decade of professional platform experience, Delatorro's keynotes are certain to educate, equip, and empower your professionals to new levels of elite performance.
We got to be willing to change. Somebody say we got to change. So let's talk about change real quick. I'm going to ask you to say several things with me as we go through the journey and the process of change. First thing you got to say when you want to make a change in your life is you got to say it must change. Somebody say it must change. You cannot change something without identifying the thing that you want to change. You got to say it must change. Somebody say that. It must change. What is the thing that you want to change? I love that second word up there, must. You got to put a priority on the thing that you want to change, because as long as it's optional, as long as it's an elective instead of a required thing in your life, you're never going to make the change. So the first thing you got to say is that it must change. The second thing you got to say is that I must change it. Somebody say I must change it. I must change it. You've got to be the one to be the CEO of the correction. It must change. I'm willing to take ownership. I must change it. Third thing you got to say is that I can change it. I can change it. Okay, come on. Somebody say, I can change it. Isn't it amazing how people don't really feel like they can change their circumstance? They think life has dealt me these cards, and you know what? I'm just going to have to play with these, and there's nothing else I can do. Not true. You're not the victim. You're the victor, right? Which means that you can change your circumstance. Next thing you got to say is you got to say that you will change it. Somebody say, I will change it. Now, there's a big difference between what you can do and what you will do. When you go to a car dealership, first thing they do is they show you around the whole dealership, showing you every single car you can buy. Then, as soon as they go pull your credit, come on now, they come back and tell you the car you will be able to buy. Isn't that true? Hello, right?